Support comes from Pacific Northwest Ballet, presenting the Northwest holiday tradition, the Nutcracker, live and on stage at McCaw Hall through December 28th. The Nutcracker is a journey through a holiday party, epic battle, and falling snow in the land of sweets. Tickets and info at pnb.org.
Support comes from Mechanics Bank, a West Coast bank providing premium personal and business banking services for 120 years. They understand relationships matter and go the extra mile to help clients reach their financial goals. Stop by a branch or visit mechanicsbank.com today. Mechanics Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jeannie Yandel. Every week, you press play on Meet Me Here to learn something new about the arts and culture in the Puget Sound region. Everything you hear on KUOW, every podcast, every newsletter, every live event relies on the support of our community. You make public media possible. We are community-funded and people-powered. Public media exists today and will continue into the future because listeners like you make the choice year after year to support it. This week, it's KUOW's Winter Fund Drive, an important time every year when we come on air and into your podcast to ask for our community's support. Help KUOW finish 2025 strong by making a gift today. Whether it's $5, $10, or $20 a month, your support helps us dig deep, ask tough questions, and spotlight local issues that matter. And to sweeten the deal, there are a few exclusive thank you gifts for this winter fundraising drive, including a knit hat, a coffee tumbler, and a mini tote. All you have to do to get started is tap the link in our show notes, or donate on the KUOW app, or by visiting KUOW.org. Thank you for supporting this podcast and for supporting KUOW. Hi, and welcome to Meet Me Here, your weekly guide to arts and culture events worth leaving your house for. I'm Jeannie Yandel. When you think about doing something fun, what's the first activity that springs to mind? Until very recently, I'll tell you what didn't spring to mind for me: going to an art museum. Now, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy art museums, but not because they're fun. But then I met someone who changed my mind. And in a minute, you're gonna meet her. And I bet she'll make you think differently about art museums too. But before that, I have to tell you about something happening next week, right during the holiday. There are some Seattle artists who I suspect are wizards of some kind. These are people who are definitely creating magic with their work. And in my opinion, one of the most preeminent music wizards in this city is DJ Riz Rollins. Now, I can't fully put into words how he does what he does, but I can say this. One of the most reliably joyful experiences a human can have is being in the room with Riz when he DJs. And I say this as someone who really does not love letting other people see me dance. With Riz Rollins in charge, that fear of mine evaporates, and it feels a little miraculous. And on Christmas and Boxing Day, Riz is giving you 2 chances for little dance miracles of your own. On Christmas night, Riz is one of 4 DJs at the 14th annual Miracle on First Street dance party at Monkey Loft in Soto from 9 p.m. till 1 a.m. Admission is free and 21 and over. Then the next night, Riz is a headliner for Flammable at Massive on Capitol Hill. Doors open at 10 with tickets starting at $14. That's 21 and over too. And we'll have links to everything in our show notes. And if you're looking for more fun stuff to do, we got you. Check out Jason Megatron Burrow's Weekend Warm-Up right here every Friday or every Thursday on Soundside on KUOW around 12:45 p.m.
Support comes from Pacific Northwest Ballet, presenting the Northwest holiday tradition, the Nutcracker, live and on stage at McCaw Hall through December 28th. The Nutcracker is a journey through a holiday party, epic battle, and falling snow in the land of sweets. Tickets and info at pnb.org.
Support comes from Mechanics Bank, a West Coast bank providing premium personal and business banking services for 120 years. They understand relationships matter and go the extra mile to help clients reach their financial goals. Stop by a branch or visit mechanicsbank.com today. Mechanics Bank, member FDIC.
When you're looking for something fun to do, how often do you think, oh, I know, I'll go to an art museum? If your answer is, I never think of that, you're not alone. Recent research from Culture Track and the American Alliance of Museums show that a lot of the time we just don't associate art museums with fun. That's reflected in overall attendance numbers, repeat visitors, and other metrics. But our guest today is here to challenge that thinking. Haley Ha is an artist and program curator who's traveled around the world with her work. She currently helps artists and scientists collaborate at the Schmidt Ocean Institute. That's an ocean research organization based here in Seattle. And she goes to art museums for fun, a lot. I wanted to find out why and what the rest of us are missing when we don't think of art museums as fun, approachable pastimes. And also, because we love a plan, Haley's got some tips for an approach to visiting one of her favorite museums in town, the Seattle Asian Art Museum in Volunteer Park, which, I should point out, has pay-what-you-can admission. So it's an affordable trip, too. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Jeannie.
One of the reasons I was excited to talk to you is because I was reflecting on how I think about art museums and the fact that I don't necessarily think of them as fun. Like, it sort of feels like a special occasion to go to an art museum. You know, it's outside of my everyday life and experience. What am I missing if I think of going to an art museum as just like a special occasion?
Yeah, you're not missing anything, Jeannie. I'm sorry. I have to say, I know exactly what you mean. I also feel like I'm going to museum. Do I need to dress up? Do I need to act in a certain way? Is there choreography? Like, I am with you, Jeannie, about museum is not a first place in my mind to think of a fun place. And yet, for me, it has been kind of, I would say, at least relaxing space that I don't have to be so self-conscious. I know I'm contradicting what I said earlier. What I mean is that you might think of like, what do I need to wear? Do I need to look certain way or act certain ways? All those are valid, but you don't need to. Because once you're in the museum space, people are actually caring less about you. Actually, they're really into what they're seeing, whether it's object or art or all the other things. So one thing that I think it could be more inviting is a lot of people behind the scene, behind the what's on display, they care enormously about you, about us, the visitors. What are their experiences like? What's their experience with particular pieces of art or objects
Yeah.
or the walkway? All this to say you are the guest, you are the VIP. It's not the other way around. So I hope that helps at least somewhat that you're so welcomed in the public spaces of museum.
Oh, Haley, I love that perspective that I'm the guest. That it's the
Absolutely.
space is there so that hopefully I can feel comfortable looking at some of these pieces and spending time there.
Yeah.
I think that is something I've been missing, actually, and I didn't know it until you said it. So I wanted to ask you about the Seattle Asian Art Museum, which was a place you suggested visiting when we first started talking. So to set the scene, Seattle Asian Art Museum, if you're not aware of it, is located in Volunteer Park, which is this very pretty old park in Capitol Hill. Haley, why did you want to talk about visiting the Seattle Asian Art Museum?
One of the reasons why I first thought of the Asian Art Museum was I previously worked there for a bit. I have a fond memory of entering into Asian Art Museum. And just like what you said, Jeannie, every season, accessing the park gives a complete new entry experience because of the beautiful forest, beautiful park. It's almost like you're entering into this dreamy landscape and there's a museum inside of it. And the museum is quiet. And that was actually something that was really helpful for me. It's a space for me to think. I don't need to think about anything else other than what's in front of me. And especially when there's a lot going on just in every day, there's a bit of additional space for me that is created for me, for the visitors. for you to walk, enjoy,
Mm.
interact with peace in your own way. If nothing comes to you, that's fine. No one will know. You could have the face of like, this is speaking to me, but no one will know. Um, Either way, if you walk out from one piece that's spoken to you, you
Mm.
won a lottery because that experience is unique and really special, and you will stay with you.
I love that you talked about the experience of entering the Seattle Asian Art Museum because
Yeah.
the first piece that you recommended spending a little time with is right in the entryway.
Yeah. It's a piece that actually kind of get looked over by many people because it's first of all it's situated in the garden area, so you don't need to go to the ticket booth when you enter the entryway. It's right in front of you, big garden foyer area, and at the
Mm.
end of the garden hall, the foyer, there's a sculpture piece that is placed on top of water fountain. It's called the reduction, and it's a sculpture piece with a person in a seated position. If you're a yoga practitioner, they say it's a lotus position. It's a sculpture
I
of
was
made out
thinking
of
crisscross applesauce, but yes.
exactly. That's perfect way to describe it. Exactly, and it's a piece by Japanese sculptor. His name is Kondo Takahiro, and it's called Reduction. It's a sculpture that he created after actually quite a traumatic experience for lots of Japanese people. It's created after the great earthquake and Fukushima disaster. And the piece is actually to consider the people who lost their lives from the disaster. And the piece has a beautiful water drops all over the sculpture piece. It's almost like the sculpture is drenched in water, and the artist used a special technique to preserve these water drops as almost real.
The water droplets are
Yeah,
silvery,
yeah.
but they almost look like pock marks, like damage as well. It's
Oh,
really,
I love that.
it's pretty
Yeah, on the other
stunning.
hand, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the it is a silver mist overglaze is the word that artist used. It is particular technique that I think he patented that looks like water drops but it's a silver glazed. But to me, that piece really spoke for anyone who's going through a situation and season that's larger themselves, and how to go through that time, how to experience that time. And it's not something that you try to be to perfect it. You um, you can be okay even if you're drenched in water, and that's still okay. You don't have to have it all together. And yes, problem hasn't left you, but you're there, and it's not going to be forever, was kind of the message that I walked away with.
So let's go and look at the next piece that you suggested spending time with at Seattle Asian Art Museum.
Yeah,
This piece is called Moon Jar, which
yeah,
is, it's kind of what it sounds like. It's this round, it's about a foot and a half tall. It's sort of translucent white jar.
absolutely. Yeah.
It looks heavy and light at the same time.
I like that interpretation. That's beautiful, Jeannie. It's a really plain looking jar when you first look at it. It's this white, almost like a milkish white, with lots of little patches, and it's actually much bigger than a lot of other pieces in the museum. It's a piece that was actually a piece that served for everyday use for families, kitchen use, for other storage kind of purpose, but also served for royals. And the reason why I so love that piece is because it's so forgiving. It the sense of forgiveness or sense of embracing the imperfection comes from how it's materialized, how it's made, and it's basically two half moon shaped hemisphere put together. It's not what you see in other sculptural pieces. So when you do those two hemisphere kind of put together kind of method, obviously the seam will always be there and it will be always not perfect. But also, I would say Moonjar, it's it's a unique piece because I'm Korean, and I think Moonjar also kind of hosts that spirit of Korean culture. And Moonjar became kind of symbol of Korean people after they were liberated from Japanese occupation. And I say that because I was seeing the pattern and symbol of Moonjar just everywhere, and I didn't know why as a child. But I think there's a sense of familiarity of something resilient, something that is never perfectly round, never perfectly beautiful, but there's warmth to it. And there's forgiving and inviting nature to it that I think that's why I so was enamored by it as a child. Just to add a little bit of fun facts, if you're into K-pop, there's a well-known boy band named BTS, and one of the member is a big fan
Well
of.
known, you say. Oh my
Exactly.
gosh, they're like a global phenomenon. Anyway,
Right.
go ahead. I love that you called them well known.
Exactly. Um, I'm glad you know, Jeannie. Yes, there's many who can teach me about how big they are, and it's been incredible. I get a lot of lessons from my friends. So the piece, one of the moon jar, was collected by one of the member. His name is RM, and he loved this piece. There's a really interesting picture of him just hugging the piece, and the piece was actually such an inspiration for so many artists, and it's acquired by British Museum and others. One is Seattle Asian Art Museum, and I think there's a reason why, and everyone probably have their own kind of unique story to tell why they love this moon jar.
Okay, Haley, the last piece that you suggest we go look at Seattle Asian Art Museum, it almost feels like the opposite of Moonjar in a way. It is a 50-foot long piece made of more than 650,000 Legos.
Yes.
It is a reinterpretation of Monet's Water Lilies by the Chinese dissident artist Ai Weiwei.
Yeah.
Just saying that makes me want to go see it.
Great.
Why do you suggest we go look at this piece?
um,
I know, job done.
yeah, I think just so that there's a bit of clarity, that piece was kind of added as what will be the reason if you need to reason to visit the Seattle Asian Art Museum. This piece will be installed for limited time. In Seattle Downtown
Mm-hmm.
Museum had a big retrospective of Ai Weiwei, but this
Mm-hmm.
piece somehow came to Asian Art Museum. It's there for a certain duration. Um, this
Yeah, I
piece is
think it leaves in
interesting.
April of 2026.
You're right, April 2026. Weiwei, there's many experts on Weiwei. So what I know is he works with community. So he involves sometimes entire village of community, and he makes them as a collaborator. So this piece is kind of unique in that way. There's a communal sense to all three pieces that we're kind of discussing. In this piece too, I think he worked with I don't know how many co-workers, so there's kind of communal creating the art piece together. And again, just like other pieces we discussed, there's everydayness. It's a Lego. It's, of course, I mean, it is a kind of homage to water lilies, but it is a Lego piece. And he does it this
Mm.
deliberately. Also, little detail, I heard Ai Weiwei's piece is going to come, other pieces will be displayed at the Olympic Sculpture Park next year. So if you have plans to visit the Weiwei piece, there's other series coming next year.
Right before we started recording, Haley,
Yes.
you had another tip for making art museums feel more relaxing, more comfortable, more fun. And that is make a playlist for your experience at the art museum. Make a playlist for your visit. So, what would your playlist look like to go see these three pieces at the Seattle Asian Art Museum?
Oh, I probably it's going to be a surprise for many, but I would choose actually this animation film. This Is What It Sounds Like by K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack.
To a million pieces and we can't go back, but now I'm seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The sky's a part of me, darkness and harmony. My voice without the lies. This is what it
Trust me, it works. There's a connection there. You will find it. And that's my invitation to anyone who's interested in visiting Asian Art Museum. Jeannie, when you think of Asian Art Museum, what would be kind of inviting soundtrack or tune that you would like to listen to while you're walking through some of these pieces that has like thousands of years of gap? One is from very recent. There's some really recent contemporary art piece and really historical pieces.
I think the song that I would pick is a song called Ice Blank Luck by a band called KUOW Twins.
seeming to be
Every time I hear that song, I imagine colors, and I expect the experience of standing in front of Ai Weiwei's water lilies
Wow.
with that in my ears could
That's
feel pretty
beautiful.
extraordinary.
That's incredible. I definitely want to try that. That sounds amazing. You just made my weekend plan. I am definitely going to try that.
Haley Ha is an artist and program curator based here in Seattle. Haley, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Oh, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Meet Me Here is produced by KUOW, a proud member of the NPR network. It's hosted by me, Katie Campbell, and Dyer Oxley. It's produced by Kyle Norris, Brandy Fullwood, and Matt Martin. Take a minute to rate and review Meet Me Here in your podcast app. It really helps get the word out about the show. Or, if you like Meet Me Here, tell a friend about us. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeannie Yandel. See you soon.
Hey, I'm Ton Vin, host of Seattle Eats, a food podcast from the Seattle Times and KUOW. Another round of closures is hitting the Seattle food scene. On the latest episode, I'll tell you about one significant closing and 3 new spots that have the restaurant industry buzzing, and which ones you have to try. Listen to Seattle Eats on the KUOW app or wherever you get your podcasts.